Hi there, welcome, come on in. This is Lynn, the Maritime Mystic, and today I've got a pick-a-pile reading for you, and I've got 4 different piles for you to choose from. So you're going to take a moment and you're going to decide which pile you feel the most drawn to. That's the one that's going to bring you the best possible message for you today. And this reading is going to be in regards to your hopes and dreams, and what are the things that are holding you back? What are the things that you need to do possibly to, help to manifest those hopes and dreams and make them a reality? So we're going to look at all 4 piles here. We've got, beside pile number 1, we've got some of my artwork, which is, this one is a lighthouse on a piece of driftwood. Pile number 2, we've got with that one a lighthouse and a fishing boat on a piece of slate rock that I painted. And pile number 3, this is a little lighthouse that I bought at a local market. It's a little wooden lighthouse on a shell, and beside it there's a pearl in a shell and a little piece of turquoise jewelry. Then we've got pile number 4, we've got a lighthouse on a beach rock that I painted with some seagulls. So that is with pile number 4, maybe to help you decide, which pile you're more drawn to. And so I'm going to give you a moment now to decide which pile you feel will bring you the best message that's going to help you to move forward with your hopes and dreams. So pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. If you haven't decided yet, you can pause the video, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and move forward. So pile number 1, if you chose this pile, let's see what's in here. Pile number 1, so the first card is a lighthouse card. It's a solitude card. Now, this card is about basically meditating, clearing yourself of all those cluttered thoughts and just, allowing stillness to flow through your whole being. And time to step back and take your focus off of the troubles. So maybe you've been focused on worrying on what's not working and why it's not working and how you're going to get things to work. And this card's talking about taking a little step back and, you could be surprised also at how things kind of sort themselves out when you replenish your own energy and you take that time out to rest. So that's the first card for pile number 1, and the card that follows it is also a card about insights that come from quiet meditation, and it talks about possibly even, there's a need possibly for more sleep or from time off. Taking a step back again is what it's talking about, and just seeking relief from the stress. So make sure that you're doing that and replenishing yourself. So that's a repeated message. So that is important for you, pile number 1. Then we have the Muse card. This card in reverse, and this card talks about, as if when it's in reverse, it's like you're trying to get something going, but you're feeling blocked. It's kind of like, it's like having writer's block for your life instead of if you're writing a story. So it's kind of like just taking that time. Again, it talks about, taking that step back, because when you do take that step back, that's what's going to allow the energies to shift and the inspirations to come in, and, getting those seeming obstacles out of your way when really you're just struggling so hard that's possibly what's been creating your blockage and keeping you from what it is that you're hoping and desiring for. And lastly, for pile number 1, we've got the Victory card in reverse. So we're looking at the Victory card in reverse. It's basically, again, it's following along the same timeline here as the other cards. It's talking about, not necessarily meaning, just because it's victory in reverse does not mean that's a failure. It does not mean that at all. What it signals is it's time to just, it's a delay or a reversal. So it's just, you're feeling that need for personal change. and you've been pushing forward. But this card is kind of talking about like a peaceful surrender, like just stepping back and taking that time and allowing yourself to replenish your, gathering and waiting and not getting stressed out, because, it's a time for getting those resources and information that's going to help you figure out how to change the way that you've been doing things. And, it's not just time to move forward on it yet. So that is telling you, basically overall, just step back, take some rest time, stop the struggle, and before you move forward, there's a little bit more information that you need to gather, and you're going to look at a different way of doing things than what you've been trying to do and push forward with. That's what's going to help you to manifest your hopes and dreams, pile number 1. So now pile number 2. Pile number 2, we got the Goblins card, the 5 of Raphael, Akashic Records, and Door to Spirit. Oof, okay. So, the Goblins card is like, it's like you feel like that something has been lost, and you've got that feeling of self-doubt. Those are the goblins that are coming into your mind, feeling that you're not worthy, or feeling like a victim, or, the goblins in your mind bring in that, when things aren't working out for you, they bring in that self-doubt and that negative self-talk and all that sort of thing, when things don't turn out the way that you expected and that sort of thing, then, so you've got to let go of that negativity to let the miracles come in, is what they're talking about. So make sure that, that you don't, let those little goblins get to you just because things aren't working out the way you thought or when you thought. Don't let that slow you down. And beside that, what have we got? The Raphael card. Now see, again, it talks about everything happens for a reason. Release regret, embrace the opportunities for happiness, and searching for the silver lining. So again, it's sort of like pile number 1. It's like things didn't work out quite the way that you wanted. But don't worry, there's things that you'll do, and then you'll move forward in a different way. This pile number 2, it's talking about the idea that things didn't work out as fast or the way that you thought they would. And then those little goblins come creeping into your mind and create self-doubt. And it's like you might even feel like giving up on what you had hoped for. But there are opportunities. There are silver linings in the way that things have been working out. And just know that, everything does happen for a reason. And then in this case, it's about your hopes and dreams and something better that's coming. Now, Akashic Library card, Akashic or Akashic, however you prefer, however you prefer to say it. So pile number 1. So we're looking at this one. This card in reverse, it's talking about you going further and further down the stairway, because there's a stairway here. If it was right side up, you'd be going up the stairway. But this one is like you're going further and further down the stairway, and you feel kind of like things have been, well, sinky, But this is, there's probably been some sort of a disruption in your plans and your path and in your life, and it's either like a disruption or a distraction. And it's just time to just look at things in a different way, and so that you can move past it. And you can also write down the things that you want to release, so the things that got in your way, the things that you felt were holding you back. And those goblins, again, those little goblins, write all that stuff down, the self-doubts, and release it, disperse that, get rid of it. And, because now it's time for you to get back on track and get back on your life's path and your own personal life path, and whatever those obstacles or disruptions were, you're going to just put those behind you now. So that, again, it's like there's been a lot of disruptions here, but now it's time to let those go and move forward. Don't be angry about it. Don't be sad about it. Don't let it create self-doubt in your mind, and just move forward. So the 4th card in the pile for pile number 2 is the Door to Spirit. Now, this is about like the next step for this pile number 2. So this is where you've been. This is where you need to go to get out of it. And then this is your next step, pile number 2. So it's kind of like the world you've been living in, that you were not on your path, that you were supposed to be, you had this vision of your future and what you should be doing and how it should look. And so now this card is now coming in to illuminate the path that you are supposed to be on again. And it's lighting up again for you, not the same way that it was before, lighting up in a different way, but all those little orbs coming in and showing you the way. And it just represents beautiful things like the door opening up to your unlimited potential, and that that these changes are going to, go deep into the core of your being, perhaps, and know that it's a time of increasing power for you. And, it's an increasing time of more intuition and deepening your connection with the spiritual world and your own spiritual self. So once you open yourself up to this, you'll be surprised, how much more intuitive and powerful you become. If you're doing healing practices or anything like that, that's going to be ramped up. And anything that you're doing in the energetic realm, then that's going to be expanded. So just be open to expect that the guidance and the inspiration of spirit that is going to guide you now into your best life. So you're coming out of that and moving into this. So that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So now we're going to pile number 3 with the little lighthouse there. So let's go to pile number 3. Storm field cards in reverse, action card in reverse. Okay. So the first card that we have is a storm fields card in reverse. So in reverse, of course, if it was right side out, it would be stormy times. But this one here just says, it's not a good time to get into any sort of an activity or anything that's going to cause any unwanted chaos or drama in your life, is what this card means in reverse. So, don't do anything that's going to cause a stormy time, right? So, make sure not, to say anything that's a hurtful word that could cause you problems later, or, make people feel betrayed or angry or anything, don't do anything that's going to cause any unnecessary upset in anybody's life, including your own. So this is kind of about taking shelter and stepping back and just waiting until that turbulence passes, and don't engage in any drama. Wait till the storm blows over. If you have something to say and you want to be heard, wait till that storm passes, and then you'll be heard and it won't cause any problems. So it's a little bit of a waiting game there for you. Then we've got the King of Ariel card. And the King of Ariel talks about being successful and being stable, and about your plans working out really well. So if you follow the first card in this pile, this will be the result. And it talks about, using your resources wisely. So in this case, and the resource in this case is the advice that the first card in this pile presented to you. So that's good. So if you do that, then you will be successful and you'll be heard. Now, beautifully following this, look at this. We've got the Treasure card in reverse. So the Treasure card in reverse is not a bad thing. People think reverse cards are always bad. They're not, especially in this case. So this one here is good because it shows all of the treasure falling out of the treasure chest, right? It's falling out onto the floor. And so it's talks about some things that have happened that have been disruptive in your life. It made you feel kind of vulnerable and open, like the treasure chest, but you didn't let it pull you down. And it also means that through these things, it's helped you to figure out or unveil something in yourself and in your spirit and your own light and power within, by getting through this situation and getting through this disruption in your life that's been happening. And it means that, the immediate future is just full of opportunity and abundant offerings from the universe. So it's interesting how, some of these piles have had a similar message, but it's a little bit different for each one. So this is a consistent theme throughout so far to this point. So now the last card in this pile is the Action card in reverse. I've seen this card a lot lately. right side up and in reverse. So in this one, it's in reverse. I love the horses. Horses to me are kind of about freedom and power. They're a very powerful animal. So, and it's this one here, like I say, it's interesting because it's come up a lot lately for different readings that I've done for other people and for myself. And it's talking about that there's something that's been missing in the things that you're trying to create. Either, you haven't been determined enough, or you haven't been consistent enough, or there hasn't been enough follow through. Something's missing in your efforts to get to that goal that you've been after, and, that change that you've been wanting to make. And it's about spending more time doing than wishful thinking, right? You've been thinking about it a lot, what your goal is, but you haven't been making the consistent efforts to make them happen. So it's talking about creating a more structured plan and making sure that you take some, either daily or weekly actions, whatever it is, that's going to help to get that plan moving and to get you closer to your goals and move in that direction. So it's about being flexible, you've had to deal with all this kind of stuff and waiting, and your treasure's coming now, but it's about being flexible, but it's also about being conscious about what you're doing and your own ability to act on your own behalf. So pile number 3, it's definitely looking like it's about not getting engaged in any drama or negativity that's going on around you. And, keep your head down, keep your nose to the grindstone, stick to the plan, be consistent, and you're going to be successful. So that's really an awesome message. So now let's go to pile number 4. Let's see if this one is similar in any way to the others. So what have we got first? The first card here. First card is Sacred Pool in reverse. So the Sacred Pool is a beautiful card. This one, it came up in reverse, card number 47. I don't know why I'm drawn to the number in this card. I wasn't drawn to the number in any of the other cards so far. So the number 47, which is also an 11 in numerology. Number 47, if that means anything to anybody who picked pile number 4, that may be significant. And it's kind of like a nod from the universe there. So let's get back to the card itself. So this talks about how you've possibly been dimming your own light, turning away from the truth that's being reflected to you. It's like, look, this is you, this is what you can do. And you're kind of like, no, I don't think I can. I'm not seeing it. And it's staying in that denial that's keeping you doing the same thing over and over again and not being able to move forward. And it's kind of like, what it's doing, it's leading to kind of this tedious, boring existence that's actually been making you quite unhappy. And now this reading is about change, so don't let that get you down. It's just acknowledging this is how you've been feeling. This is something that you needed to look at deeply to get yourself out of this and be able to move ahead into your hopes and dreams. So it's about letting go of that need to self-sabotage if you've been doing that, and if that's been your habit. And let's see, yeah, it's definitely reiterating the message that we've seen before. So sometimes, there's been a running theme here of people that are holding you back, and now that you're being given the opportunity to resolve things. So that's been the running theme throughout today. And just know that you do have a responsibility, not just to yourself, but to the universe and to others, to do, might be a little bit uncomfortable to look at these things, but just know that, when you do take that leap and move forward and see things as they really, really are, that there's a better life waiting for you. So that's a really strong message there, pile number 4. Oh, and pile number 4, we've got the 2 of Michael. Now, this card talks about things being better if you just make a decision, like it says on there, and stop over-analyzing a problem. Find a compromise for this moving forward that you need to do. So you may not be able to do fully what it is that you're looking at this moment, or maybe it's just shifting the way that you're going to do it. But it does talk about making a decision. So that's really important. And, this is a card of 2s. So the 2s are important. also means that there could be another person that could be helping you. So like a partnership. So then we have that followed by the King of Roses. The King of Roses. This is a beautiful card. Now, let's see. The King of Roses. He's holding two roses, one in each hand. So the red rose in one hand and a white rose in the other. So the red rose represents passion and the white rose represents purity. And then all around his feet, you see yellow roses, and the yellow roses in this case on this card represent healing and creativity. So you're healing all this stuff then from your past and what's been bothering you and haunting you kind of thing. So you're going to resolve that and possibly, stop over analyzing it and make a decision. But, that this is a beautiful card to follow those cards. And so what all that represents with this card is, this card is about someone who's really well balanced, and it's also about a more masculine energy. So this is like a yang energy. So this is you making a decision and moving forward. Or it could be, a person of male energy that comes in and assists you in some way. So, and helps you to balance things out. So if we're talking about another person, then this is a person who's well balanced and well rounded. They're thoughtful and supportive, and they have a good heart. So they could be helpful in your personal life or your business life. So just keep an eye out for that person. So again, it does look like there is someone helping you coming in some way. So then the last card that we have in pile number 4 is a man holding a coin. So what we've got here, this card represents also a masculine, more yang energy. And so this card is about, where money and value in your life. And this can indicate an aspect of yourself and your readiness to go for your goals. And so that you can have an increase in your wealth or in the value that you're trying to bring into your life. And it also represents that success is on the way when you take control of things like your finances, for instance, or whichever area of your life that you're asking about here, and to take that action. So it also represents, like I said, the assistance of another person. It looks like they could be coming into your life to help you. It could be a financial advisor or a healer or somebody who just brings really great sage advice into your life. And it's going to help you to know which action that you need to take next. But remember, the decisions are ultimately yours. But this is a supportive person. Again, like these other two cards, a supportive person that's coming in. And, be open to this person's advice, but always go with your own intuitive guidance as well to weigh out that information that you're being given. So that's super interesting there. That one took a little bit of a different angle because it basically told you about, this other person coming in to help you. And we also got that number 47 that I just wanted to remind you of there for pile number 4. So just remember that, these cards are only meant for guidance and to help you and to support you in the decisions that you make on your own, and they're just for guidance. And just remember that, the decisions are ultimately yours, and your own guidance is the best. My mantra is be your own guru. So I hope this helps you, and I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Many blessings to you all.